Welcome to Veterans Perspectives. This is Jeff, host, author, podcaster extraordinaire. Today's topic is going to be about House Joint Resolution 29, introduced by Representative Andy Ogles, Republican from Tennessee, and backed by co-sponsors like Lauren Boebert and Eli Crane of Arizona. Eli Crane's from Arizona. This bill is a direct assault on the 22nd Amendment. It proposes a constitutional change, an amendment, that would allow a person to be elected president 3 times, as long as those terms aren't all consecutive. This non-consecutive loophole is clearly designed to allow a third term for one specific individual, Donald Trump. But while the sponsors are busy framing this as giving the people a choice, they are actually giving us a massive fucking distraction. So, the United States House of Representatives has officially entered fan fiction. Okay, they're in the fan fiction phase of legislating, and I use quotations when I talk about legislating because this is not legislation. Okay, they are doing nothing. They're losing the plot. Okay. While most of us are wondering how to pay our bills, to pay for gas, which is now back on the rise here in Arizona, for example, it's over $4 a gallon in the capital in Phoenix because this government can't function properly. Okay. While our infrastructure is crumbling, while we're fighting a war or a conflict in the Middle East again, right? Some members of Congress are spending their taxpayer-funded hours writing a constitutional amendment to give presidents a third term. We all know who this is designed for. Okay? Let's stop, take a step back, and look at the bigger picture. This is not just about Donald Trump. It is in the short term, but constitutional amendments are not designed to be in the short term. There's a reason the Constitution only has 27 amendments. And it's as old as it is. It's designed to be for the long term. This is about permanently breaking a rule that has kept the American presidency from turning into a lifetime appointment since the 1950s. Reality check time. This is a waste of time. Passing a constitutional amendment requires 2/3 vote in the House and the Senate. Good luck. Good luck. Okay. Plus 38 states to sign off. Or a constitutional convention where those same 38 states need to sign off. Okay. In this political climate, there is literally a 0% chance of that happening. This is performative politics at its peak 7 months out from election season. Okay? It is a loyalty signal disguised as a law. While the House holds press conferences about an amendment that will never pass, committee meetings about an amendment that will never pass, they are actively ignoring major crises that actually affect the lives of citizens here in the United States and people abroad. Let's just list a few of them, okay? Number one, the national debt and deficit. We're literally staring down a fiscal cliff, and we have been for decades. What the fuck are they doing about that? When is the last time that your government has talked about the federal deficit and what they are actually tangibly doing to fix it? Oh, wait. The people in charge of the checkbook are rewriting rules for 2028? For the next presidential election? Okay, the housing crisis. I'm lucky enough to have bought a house in 2009, but I'm a veteran. So I had access to a VA home loan before they started dicking around with those rules and tried to change those rules to make that harder for future veterans. We're still fighting that. And beyond that, the prices of housing are through the roof, not just for homeowners, but for renters. An entire generation is being locked out of homeownership, and people are spending 3/4 of their paycheck to just pay rent. And that doesn't even include their bills. But Congress thinks the biggest problem is that a president might only get 8 years of the White House, non-consecutive terms. Okay. Boo-hoo. Oh, and by the way, I voted for Donald Trump. And let me clear something up for you people. Just because somebody votes for Donald Trump doesn't make you MAGA. That's for my leftist people out there. What's happening in this second term, I did not vote for. Did I vote for stricter immigration rules and laws? Yes. Did I vote for the way it's being done? Absolutely not. Did I vote for the release of the Epstein files? Yes. Has that happened? No. Did I vote for no more wars? Yes. Are we fighting a war? Yes. He has failed. Just like almost every other second-term president, he has screwed the fucking pooch. He's screwed the fucking pooch. And it's March of 2026. Can he redeem himself? Probably not, because most second-term presidents don't historically. And what are my credentials for making that statement? I taught history for 12 years. I have a degree in history and a master's degree in political science. I've studied it. There are my credentials. Oh, and I fought a war in the Middle East in 2003 in Iraq. I'll hope he does well. I'll hope he fixes it, because I hope that every president is the greatest president we've ever had. But I won't hold my breath. And I will hold him to task for the shit that he's doing. Because guess what? Here's the problem with MAGA and Republicans as a whole, and the problem with Democrats as a whole. You think that because the president is part of your political party, he can't make mistakes. And when he does make mistakes, you can't hold him accountable. You're selfish. President Trump has failed. And he's failed miserably. Infrastructure decay. Let's talk about the United States of America, because we haven't done that in a hot minute. Our power grids are aging. Our bridges are under-maintained. Our railroads are falling apart. Shit, how many railroad accidents happened during the Biden administration? And they funneled next to no money to fix that shit. This requires work and money, not what if. I don't care about scenarios about a third term for the presidency. I don't care. Because as of right now, I wouldn't vote for Trump for a third term. As of right now, the Republican Party should not nominate President Trump for a third term. I wouldn't. Marco Rubio spoke to the Latin American leaders the other day, and he did so in English and Spanish. I'd nominate him. And I don't even like Marco Rubio. Healthcare costs. Once again, medical debt remains the number one cause of bankruptcy in this country. But that's only because you can't file bankruptcy for your student loan debt. Where's the joint resolution to cap the cost of staying alive? They don't care if we die. Global stability. Oh, gee, I don't know. We're still lobbing billion-dollar missiles into fucking Iran, fighting a war for Israel. But when a Marine Corps veteran decides to fucking protest, I don't think he should have done it in uniform, but I get it and I respect it, right? When a Marine Corps veteran goes and protests that shit in front of a committee meeting, what do? They break his fucking arm. Multiple high-intensity conflicts threatening to disrupt global trade and energy prices. Not threatening, it is. It is disrupting. You'd think the people's house, the House of Representatives, would be focused on national security instead of term limit loopholes. And I know some ass clown is going to tell me down in the comments, well, they can do more than one thing at a time. No, they can't. When's the last time the House has done anything at a time, let alone more than one thing at a time? The House of Representatives is a fucking joke. And you know what? The Senate can join them. And then we still have the Epstein files. Still haven't seen the other half of those. And then the other fucking day, in their little ethics committee meeting, they're like, yeah, let's subpoena Pam Bondi. That's great. Good job. And then they fucking voted to seal their own possible sexual assault records to protect themselves. The House is a joke, people. If Congress wants to talk about amending the Constitution, it needs to be my amendment, the 28th Amendment, that I have on change.org. Straight up, I'm going to plug my own shit. Because my shit's better. Hands down. They shouldn't be looking at the White House. They should be looking at themselves. Term limits. Age limits. Fix Congress Now Amendment, 28th Amendment. Our leaders are out of touch with the modern world. I believe I read the other day, and I'd have to research this. I did not look this up. There's only 2 or 3 members of Congress, or like of the House, that are 30 years old or less. I'm 44. No one in Congress represents me. No one. None of them represent me. Term limits, age limits, and investment limits. Excuse me. Having financial regulations to stopping them from getting rich while they are supposed to be serving the people. Because so many of them become millionaires and billionaires while they're in Congress through insider trading. And we know it happens. Now, I mentioned earlier, this wasn't just about Trump. Amendments are not short-term. They are long-term. The long-term danger here. If you change the Constitution for one person that you like today, it's going to impact every person later on. You can't amend the Constitution willy-nilly. That's not how the Constitution is intended to operate at all in any way. Okay, if you change the Constitution for one person, you change it for everyone that you're probably going to hate tomorrow. So MAGA be like, oh my God, yeah, Trump should have a third term. He didn't have consecutive terms, blah, 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 blah. What if it was a Democrat? What if it was a Democrat? You'd fucking be up in arms. No. They've already had their 2 terms. Blah, 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 blah. Fox News said blah, 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 blah. That'd be exactly what you would fucking be doing, and you know it. And you know it. But you can't admit it to yourself. You know it. And this is coming from a lifelong actual Republican, because I know the real definition of what it means to be a conservative Republican, a fiscal conservative. Because y'all forgot that meaning. Y'all forgot what that meant a long time ago. Remember, presidents appoint every judge. They control every agency. And they make it impossible for an outsider to ever challenge them again. Now they could fire agency heads. Make sure that stuff takes time. And then undoing what they did, it takes time. So House Joint Resolution 29, to add this fucking magical third term, would cause more instability in a government that's already unstable. They're treating the Constitution like it's a toy. The Constitution is certainly still a rough draft. It could be amended for a reason, okay? But it's not a toy, okay? They'd rather win a news cycle than solve a problem. It's time to stop falling for the distraction and start demanding that Congress fixes itself before it tries to rewrite the rules for everyone else. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go to change.org. The link will be down in the comments. Sign the petition for the real amendment that should happen. Hold Congress accountable. And I will see you next time.